Hello and welcome, race fans, to Kentucky Motor Speedway with the Real Sim Racing Outlaw Truck Series. I am Dakota Herman, joined by Evan Pasoko, Laura Lawson working the cameras here tonight. We're here for another historical race with the Real Sim Racing Outlaw Truck Series. I can't wait to get this one in the books. Evan, it's definitely going to be a lot of fun. We're at Kentucky, where last season we actually saw Chad Cole take the win. He's going to be in the field tonight, but we have some strong drivers in the field tonight, to say the least.
And definitely, they just wrapped up 2 qualifying sessions. In order to get into this race, there are so many drivers trying to get in, and we have a special broadcast Wednesday night. It's not normally done, and you mentioned we're at Kentucky. It should be a great race at your classic 1.5-mile track. It's going to be 90 laps in the Chevrolet Silverado trucks, and as you mentioned, we do have a bunch of new faces, so to speak, to TTV Live, and a lot of great talent in this race.
And how about we go look at last week's results? It was actually Ray Alfalla coming home with the win after leading 29 laps, starting from the 5th position. John Higman Jr. going to come home second last week after starting 6th. He led a total of 11 laps, with Joe Reuter coming home third after starting 23rd. Jordan Hightower came home fourth after starting 20th and leading 15 laps. And Alan Cryer rounded out the top 5 after starting from the 12th position and leading no laps.
And finishing in the 6th position was Paul Nicholas Cooper. He started way back in 11th position, worked his way up and got 6th. And we had Steven Almindo finishing 7th. He started back in the 27th spot. Tyler Young started in unlucky number 13, ended up getting a good night, finished in 8th position. And we had Guy Snyder the 4th. He took home a 9th place finish. And Doug Fleming started almost at the back of the pack in 34th. Great night for that team, managed to finish off our 10th place.
Yeah, after starting from 34th, pretty good comeback for the Doug Fleming group. We do have an interesting field here set for tonight, though, as some of those drivers coming back. How about the standings currently as they run heading into Kentucky? Matt LaCrosse leads the way by 21 points over Guy Snyder. Glenn Campbell sitting in third with Bruce Perry in fourth. 1 point separates the two, I do believe, with Edward House sitting in 5th, and he's just 1 point behind Bruce Perry and 2 points behind Glenn Campbell.
And another point right behind Edward House in the 6th position. We have Chad Cole, 29 points off of your points leader. Then you have Justin M. Wilson sitting 35 points off the leader in 7th position. Ben Burnett currently sitting 8th in the point standings, just 2 off of Justin Wilson for that 7th spot. He's 37 back, and he's actually tied with the 9th place in the standings right now. That's John Higman Jr. And rounding up the top 10, we have John Abbott, 43 points off of Matt LaCrosse, but right behind him in 11th, Jimmy North, 44 off, so good battle for the top 10.
And some of the guys returning here tonight that were in the field that I can see of, I know Chad Cole, he will be in the field tonight. I'm looking for CJ Rivera. He'll be in the field. He finished 2nd last season. And when I look more through this, Rich Jett finished 3rd here last season. We look for Rich Jett. Not sure that I'm seeing him. He is going to be in the field as well here tonight. So, our top 3 going to be in the field here tonight. And how about Kentucky Track Facts? Capacity is 107,000. Broke ground in July 18th of 1998. Took 2 years to be opened. And it opened June 16th of 2000. Surface is asphalt. Is 1.5 miles. Turns are there are 4 turns with the 14 degrees of banking in the turns, 8 to 10 degrees of banking in the tri-oval, and 4 degrees of banking in the straightaways. As we're getting closer to race time here, we're going to go ahead and go down now, trackside, for the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air,
We're back here at the Kentucky Motor Speedway, just about, I do believe, 4 minutes, 3 to 4 minutes away from the start of this race here, as the drivers are in the drivers' meeting, or it's going on as they're on the racetrack. It's going to be 90 laps here tonight, Devin, and Kentucky, very interesting racetrack. The bumps really characterize it. There's about one group, and it's right where you can see the track where it's kind of darkened in the middle, especially in turns 3 and 4. You can see that 1 and 2 somewhat, I think we'll see varying lines. As 1 and 2, there's almost like I believe it's a paved line up on the outside lane, or a little ways out, that actually has more grip if the drivers need it.
And definitely, it's going to be a great night of your classic racing. It's the Chevrolet Silverado trucks, some of the most exciting trucks to drive and race, rather, on iRacing. And we're seeing your classic 1.5 mile track right here tonight, and it's under the lights. It doesn't get much better than this. Your classic travel configuration and special broadcast for the Outlaw trucks. Looking forward to see how this shapes up as they are working their way through their season. You can check them out, their Real Sim Racing page at realsimracing.com. So they have a bunch of different leagues, and we're going to take a swing at different things here tonight.
Definitely, and as we look down the warm-up list here, how about Byron Daly leading the warm-up final practice here in the 77 machine? I think we called him Mr. Excitement. We've seen quite a bit from him. I think we saw even a little painty yellow where he was 3 wide Daily, is what we could call him. I think that's his Twitter name as well. Ray Alfala in the field as well. He's second in warm-up so far in his number 56 machine. How about Alan Cryer sitting third in practice? I do believe that we mentioned him, I want to say last week, in the top 5. Matt Lacrosse, points leader, he's going to be in the field. He's sitting in 4th in final practice, with Tanner Stoops rounding out that top 5 currently in the 54 machine.
And definitely that 21 Matt Lacrosse, your points leader, starting near. He's got a fast truck that he's showing right now in the warm-up. No qualifying, that's determined earlier. So we're going to get right to the race after this. So definitely locking in your trucks, making any slight adjustments you want to do. The track is going to be a lot different as in comparison to if we were running here during the day with that sun down. The sky, the night sky is out and lights on. Definitely going to be a good race. You guys are just checking out some of the racing action.
And now, while we wait the start of the race here, we're going to go ahead and go down for a quick commercial break. We'll come back with racing action here from Kentucky, and we'll start this 90-lap race.
Plus other listeners where you could hear everything from big 80s metal to classic rock and roll, country radio, ETV, live sports radio, even adult and unplugged rock and roll. HDRadioNetwork.com, one of the fastest growing internet radio networks, HDRadioNetwork.com. Take it with you, cowboy. Get the mobile app for Android, iPhone, iPad, and all the rest from TuneIn.com.
And we're back at Kentucky Speedway, getting set to roll off here. We're on the grid, and it's going to be Ray Alfala leading the field here. He's going to qualify on the pole in his number 56 machine. With how about the number 3 of Adam Gilliland starting in the 2nd position? They make up row number 1.
And row number 2, starting in 3rd, is going to be the number 77 of Byron Daly on the inside. And to his right-hand side, starting in 4th position, we have the number 6 of Chad Coleman.
Tanner Stoops going to roll off in 5th in his number 54 machine, with 79 of Harrison Wildlitz rolling off 6th.
Starting this race, 7th is the number 93 of G. Allen Lewis. And Josh Connors is going to roll his number 74 truck off the grid, number 8.
Scott Cranbrook going to roll off 9th, with Rhett McBride rolling off 10th.
Justin Wilson starting 11th, and Jose Gonzalez starting 12th.
Chad Cole going to roll off 13th with John Hickman Jr. 14th.
Tyler Young will be starting 15th, and 16th is the number 22, Jordan Hightower.
Chris Barnett going to roll off 17th with Alan Cryer 18th.
CJ LeVere starting 19th, and Matt Lacrosse 20th.
Eric Malik going to roll off 21st with Bruce Perry rolling off 22nd.
Aaron Truscott starting in 23rd, and 24th is Glenn Campbell.
Luis Rodriguez going to roll off 25th with Joe Reeder 26th.
Starting 27th is Paul Nicholas Cooper, and Doug Manning starting 28th.
Rich Jet John Abbott 29th, 30th. Richard Beasley going to roll off 31st with Sean Castu 32nd. Jeff Addison 33rd with Sandeep Banerjee going to roll off 34th.
We have Brian Harvey starting 35th, Joshua Harbison 36th, we have Edward House starting 37th, Pat Dotson starting 38th. We also have 39th place is Jeff Eden, and Nick Silver's going to round up your top 40.
Adam Roberts going to roll off 41st with Joey Gattina 42nd. Douglas White 43rd, and rolling out 44th. Final car on the grid is going to be the 43 of Doug Roth. Here we go. Pace car getting set to dive. I do believe pace car is off. And Ray Alfala going to start from the pit road. So we're taking the green flag, and it's not Ray Alfala leading the field.
Definitely the 3 and the 71, or 77 rather, that's Adam Gill and Byron Daly side by side into turn number 1. You see the 77 there on the bottom. Gets a little bit of an advantage. We're going to see if the 3 can get a little bit of a run. He gets a wiggle off 2. Can't quite get clear, and the 3 is going to hang tight as they go into turn number 3. He's going to have the advantage on the low line, but here comes that 3 in that grip. He's going to back off in the corner, give the position to the 77.
Yeah, Gillen falls back in line, going to try to follow back up on the 77. Maybe use the draft if he can to get back up to the bumper of that number 77 machine. Meanwhile, third place car is going to be the Tanner Stoops, I do believe, who falls in line to take over the spot. Then behind them, just a line of cars led by G. Allen Lewis.
And definitely very close, less than a truck length in between those cars. You mentioned it's led by the number 93, G. Allen Lewis. He's currently sitting in the 4th position, I do believe, and he just made his way around the 6 of Chad Coleman for that 4th position last time, but he's going to assume that position now at our scoring stripe, and that's created kind of a bunch of cars, so to speak, but side by side for the lead now. The 3, Adam Gilliland's going to go down low on the 77, Byron Daly. He's going to get a little bit of a run, 77 right next to the wall off turn 2, but there's that run on the high side. He's going to try to clear him, not quite in the 3. He's going to battle it back into 3.
Yeah, 77 using all the racetrack, making sure he carries as much speed as he possibly can. 3 car gets sideways. That could cost him a little bit of time. 77 again using all the racetrack, making sure he can carry as much speed as he possibly can. Makes the outside stick. 3 car just backs out of it. Maybe got a little loose there. As actually caution is out. They were checking up for the pace car. Caution flying right now, though. Not quite sure why, but looking through the field, not really sure here, Evan.
We are not too sure. We're hearing possibly the 12 truck of Douglas Wyatt may be involved in the incident. I am checking back on the replay. He is driving slow on the apron. Not too sure, but we heard him come over the radio and say that that was me.
And it was Douglas Wyatt. I can see it now. Looks like working through turns 1 and 2. I do want to say he's in position 38. I think lap 3 comes off 2, gets really sideways, gets to the inside wall, and just kind of he keeps it down there, I do believe, until just about turn 3.
And definitely, so we're going to be pacing, and you did mention that our pole sitter, Ray Alfala, started from pit road. He's currently being shown in 41st position, so maybe he's trying to play the strategy and he's predicting a bunch of incidents. We got a couple laps of green. It didn't seem too crazy, but we're going to have an early caution.
Yeah, and it could be he's just maybe trying to make this interesting. I mean, watch Ray Alfala. He's coming down pit road now. He could come back up to the field. I mean, you obviously see he qualifies from the pole. He won last night at Pocono. I have a feeling you could see that 56 machine come ripping through the field. That could be interesting to watch, as there's 3 wide on pit road just behind him for just about the 31st position. That was a unique situation to file out to 2 wide as they come off of pit road. But Tanner Stoops is going to be the race leader now, as it looks like a few cars have come down pit road. Chad Coleman going to be scored second, with Harrison Wadlitz sitting in the third position.
And definitely also someone that you hear a lot on ATV, the number 26, Jose Gonzalez, currently sitting in 8th. He's made up 4 positions in that 4-lap stretch, so that 26 truck definitely moving forward. And we saw the 54 hanging out, and he has assumed the lead at this point in the race as the 77 has come down pit road, along with the 3 of Adam Gilliland.
And Jose Gonzalez, actually, he's going to be fit when the scoring updates. Jose seen regularly on the Monday Night Series, the Thursday Night Series also for the Real Sim Racing League. The Monday Night Series being the Full Throttle Cup Series, sponsored by Bioboro Racing. And the Thursday Night Series, which you can actually catch tomorrow night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, being the Asphalt Assault Series, sponsored by Inside Sim Racing and Derek Spear Designs, as well as Hippie's Paint Shop, I do believe.
And definitely still going under caution. And you did mention we saw a handful of trucks come down to pit road. So obviously that's going to put people on a bunch of different fuel strategies, assuming we don't see another quick caution and everybody else comes down. And it's interesting to see you mention Ray Alfalo pitting again. So he's in no rush to get to the front, but you did mention he ended up getting the victory at Michigan, I do believe it was, last week by half of a second. So it's going to be interesting to see if anyone's going to try to go by that strategy, try to almost copy that strategy, see if it works for them. But definitely very mixed strategies.
How about Chad Cole? He's sitting in 21st position. I do believe he qualified inside the top, actually 13th is where he qualified. He's now 21st. Chad Cole, defending winner of this race, he won last season. We're already into season 2 just this year with the Outlaw Truck Series. Cole, defending winner, kind of sitting to the back. I actually asked him if he could win the race tonight, if he could repeat, and he actually told me straight up, just no.
You mentioned it's the second season and such great competition in this race. Nothing's really given. You're going to have to work for it, and it's going to be a long night of racing for sure. And the 88 car has just received the wave run for the Lucky Dog. That's the 88 of Adam Roberts, so put him back on the lead lap, and that normally means that we're getting ready to go back green.
I do believe we should go. We should get double file this time by go back green the next time we come around. Douglas White given the EOL penalty for being the cause of the incident, or of the caution, so he's been sent to the rear of the field. We should restart at, I do want to say, about lap. Actually, will be lap 8. As it looks like we are doubling up, getting set to go back green flag racing. It's going to be the pace car pulling off of turn number 4. That's honorary pace car driver J.D. Webb pulling off of turn number 4 to lead to let Tanner Stoops lead us to the green. Definitely going to be interesting to see some of the old tires versus new tire strategy. Some of the faster guys in the back trying to work up through the field, and even these guys that were a few positions out of the lead now up front racing for the lead. Things could be shooken up here a little bit here, Evan.
And definitely with such a large field, we have 43 trucks on the lead lap, and on a 1.5 mile racetrack, that sounds pretty big. If you're thinking distance-wise, when you put it into an oval and put a bunch of hungry racers on it, it's not a lot of room, especially with these trucks. They're so exciting to watch. Things could get pretty close here as we get back green, double file, and you mentioned almost only one groove. Passing is going to be very difficult. We saw when people go too wide, you bottom line has the advantage, but the high side gets that little bit of a run to keep it dead even, but normally the high side you mentioned after turn 4 we saw get the advantage, so it'll be interesting to see how they sort things out as we get ready to go back green.
Working through 3 and 4, it's going to be Stoops and Coleman leading us to the green, and we're just about there, Evan, as we're going to be collecting lap 8 of 90. We're going to have just about 80 to go in just a few laps, just I want to say about 3. When we hit the start-finish line, pace car getting set to dive. There he goes, the pace car. It's on Wilson now, or on Stoops actually, as we're waiting for Tanner Stoops. It brings him down kind of slowly, and he's away. He's going to get a pretty good jump on the field there. Going to leave them side by side back for second position. He gets a pretty good gap and drives away into the sunset, even though we're at the night track. As behind him, Chad Coleman falls back in line. Behind him, Harrison falls back in line, and it looks like we're too wide back here for just around Jose Gonzalez, just around the 5th position. He's going to get this. He's going to take over the spot in the 26 machine. They got sideways just in front of him. That was I do want to say Scott Granberg that got sideways in the 5 machine off of turn number 2, and it looks like Jordan Hightower's 22 car is actually getting around the 42 as caution is out once again.
Yeah, we have a caution around the just about backpack. I see the number 51 truck may be involved. That's Doug Manning. And I'm trying to get an idea of what happened here. It looks like they were working their way off of turn number 2, I do believe. The 51 on the high side got real sideways, came down, and the number 4 truck of CJ Lavere had absolutely no idea what was happening. The 51 just came down and pounded the right side of that truck. The 4 managed to make it away with, I guess you would call minimal damage for an impact like that, but that 54 is torn up.
Yeah, definitely looking at this just again here. 51 Doug Manning loose comes down the racetrack, collects 4. They spin. Yeah, I think that's just maybe the 51 getting on the throttle too hard, maybe being up the racetrack a bit too much in the marbles or something, and just kind of lost the rear end. Couldn't hang on to it anymore. He gets going again and rejoins the rear of the field here, and he'll probably have to come down pit road. But this puts us under caution for the second time here tonight with the at Kentucky Speedway with the Real Sim Racing Outlaw Truck Series. Being as run a commercial for the second time here, we're going to go ahead and step away, take a quick commercial break. When we come back, hopefully we go back green.
Race fans, it's time for those most famous words in motorsports. Drivers, start your engines!
Michael Conti comes up at a corner number 4, and the checkered flag, he wins his first NASCAR.
And we're back at Kentucky Motor Speedway, getting set to go back green hopefully soon. I believe it might be next time by, not this time, but next time by. As we are, I do believe, 2 to green. Evan, Tanner Stoops leads the field. We had a quick caution after the green flag. Kind of what happened was, I do believe when we took the green flag, we got about 5 laps in. Caution flies for a self-spin, I do believe, on the very inside. Off of turn number 2 was a 12 of Douglas Wyatt. We came back, got the green flag, then within about a lap, I do believe we were on a caution once again, that time for a car getting loose on the outside off of 2, coming down, collecting another car. That was the 51 car, I do believe, as that put us under caution for the second time here. We come back from the commercial break. Tanner Stoops still in the lead. Chad Coleman still sitting in second. Biggest change, I would say, wasn't much of a change. Jordan Hightower sneaks back up into the 6th position. Jose Gonzalez had lost the top 5. He snuck back in just before the caution flew. We're getting set, though, as we come across the start-finish line in just a moment to go green.
And definitely, one thing to note about the restart, you saw the number 54, of Tanner Stoops waited a little bit longer to get on the gas. The pace car pulls off, and the leader can go from that point until the green flag flies. And when the green flag flies, if he gets beat, that's his fault for not getting on the gas. And obviously, he has the advantage, and he waited a little bit longer. It got him that big jump. You said he rode off into the sunset at night there, and he definitely got a better run. But what happened there was around 10th position that really started to check the field up. Most people are anticipating it when you have people hitting the gas and braking. Things got really stacked up, and I was checking through the replays. Looked like we had some 3, maybe even 4 wide for times. That's not where the incident occurred, but definitely checks things up to the field, and things can get pretty interesting at this track when the cars get loose, and that's what you saw that caused that incident. So it'll be interesting to see if we can get a green flag run working here as we're working lap 12. We're going to come by to get the green at lucky number 13.
I would say that... Sorry, I just kind of lost it there. I had something, but oh yeah, I remember what it was now. I'm out of it today, but I was thinking it was probably the cars in the back. I mean, we talk about anticipating, jumping the restart. It was the first restart we had, the first start of the, to start the race when we got the first green flag of the night. The leader went relatively early, so a lot of guys were expecting that kind of a pace, I believe. With that restart, I think they're going to think a little different this time when we come across the start-finish line to get the green flag. But the pace car is off, and that's what can change there. It's about to be off, I thought. Tanner Stoops, so I mean, he could go earlier and throw these guys off. I don't know what's going to happen here. We'll have to wait and see, as I believe the pace car is now about to be off. There he goes. We wait for the 54 to take us to the green flag. He's hesitant for a little bit here, kind of checking up, and he's away. He takes the green flag, and the outside lane sitting Doug did not see that coming. Caught sleeping. That's going to be Chad Coleman. He's going to lose his spot, looks like, to the 79 car, I believe.
And we have the 22 Jordan Hightower was all over the bumper of the 5 truck of Scott Granberg there on the high side on that restart. And one thing that happened last time, also the 79 you saw got right up on the bumper of the 54 of Tanner Stoops. And when he left, 79 got left in the dust. This time he was managed to recover, and Chad Coleman caught sleeping at the wheel. He's going to drop back to third as they're going to work their way through. The Trial 54 is going to lead the lap and maintain his position for now.
Yeah, 54 going to hang on for now, but the 6 is working. I thought it was working with the 79. Never mind, he shoots down to the inside. He takes the spot in just one corner. It's going to be turn number 1 and 2. And that was the 6 of Chad Coleman. Here comes the 79, looking back to the inside, looking to pull the crossover. Cannot quite do it. 6 car hangs on, takes over the spot as they work down the back straightaway. They try to run down the 54 of Tanner Stoops.
And we have a battle for the 7th position, the number 5 of Scott Granberg on the high side. Here comes the 16, though, of Alan Cryer on the inside. And then there's also the 60 of John Himmett Jr. and the 21 of Matt Lacrosse. That is almost a 4-truck pack there. They've been side by side like that for the last lap or so, and they're still hanging on. It looks like now the 16's finally going to get the advantage through turns 1 and 2. And now here comes the 21, Matt Lacrosse, looking to gain 2 more spots also.
As the points leader, looking to gain those spots. How about Jose Gonzalez up to 4th? He had fallen back to 6th on the restart. He's now up to 4th and looking to catch the car in front of him, the 79, as well as the 6 machine, if he can do that. But he has the 22 car kind of creeping up on him. Notice the 26 car is a little up the racetrack, about a lane up compared to most of these guys, significantly up the racetrack. Compared to some of these guys, which could cost him a little time. I'm not quite sure. He wasn't losing a whole lot, though. You see he gets down, though, that time and really made up some time. He's really able to stick it in the corner. It does look like as the 6th car continues to try to run down the 54 up front.
Well, I'll tell you that Chad Coleman and Harrison Widelight, 2nd and 3rd position, were faster than the 54 last time by, but the caution flag will fly for our 3rd time tonight. I see a car up in the wall. Not too sure what has happened yet, but we'll get that figured out and let you know. But caution is out for the 3rd time tonight.
And I have found it as the 5 car, 9th position, lap 16, heading, I believe that is lap 16, heading through turns 3 and 4, heading into 3, comes down on the 67 machine. When he makes contact with the 67, he gets spun to the inside. And that's not a good ending for him as he gets turned around. Smoke coming out of that engine as he nailed the inside wall. 67 was Sean Casto. Casto, I'm not quite sure where he went, but I'm not seeing him score as high. How about Ray Alfalo up in the top 10? I'm showing, but yeah, Casto's 14th.
And definitely not sure if that 5 truck got loose. They were going straight for quite a while. Maybe he just didn't see the 67 there, but he just came down. Maybe he was trying to take a peek around the 60 in front of him trying to see what was going on, but the 67 looked like trying to get up and get as much side draft as possible, and they just made contact, and that sent that 5 straight into a concrete wall, heavy impact, no safe barrier down there, and he spun right back up in front of the field, almost wrecking 2 cars, and 2 cars ended up taking each other out trying to avoid that, and that was the number 74 and 36 tangled up on the high side, and both got into the wall trying to avoid that 5 that slid right up in front of the racetrack, so this wreck is going to claim 3 cars.
That it will, as we pace down lap 18 of 90. Going to be, I do believe, 70 to go when we get close to the green flag. Maybe a little after, or a little before the green flag, we'll have 70 to go. So the lap's kind of winding down, about 20 complete here at the Kentucky Speedway. Why don't we go ahead and try to talk to one of these drivers on the radio if we can here, Evan?
And definitely, and one thing to mention, you mentioned the 56 Rail Falla. Interesting strategy so far. He started at the back. He's in the top 10. Well, he just went on pit road with a whole bunch of our other trucks. You see the 21 just beat him off. That's Matt Lacrosse. We also had the 3 down on pit road of Adam Gilliland, and also the 60 came down to get 4 fresh tires. That's also John Hinman Jr. So we're seeing a bunch of people come down. So it looks like tires are very important, and maybe these guys are making lots of adjustments trying to get dialed in for the rest of this race.
It is highly possible here, but I think I've found our target here. And it is none other than the driver of the number, I do believe, 26 machine. I say I do believe a lot. The number 26 machine of Jose Gonzalez sitting in a 3rd position. Jose, I got you on the radio. This is Dakota Ehrman and Evan Soko up the broadcast booth. Free TV Live. You got a copy, man?
Yes, sir. How you guys doing?
They're doing all right. It looks like you might even have you might be doing a little better as you just moved up to the 2nd position, I do believe. With about 70 laps to go, was staying out here the right move, you think?
I will tell you in about 10 laps. Yeah, I just want to stay away from the trouble. I just stay in front, and I think I did my fastest lap 2 or 3 laps ago. So I don't need tires for now.
All right, and I mean, you've been pretty competitive all night in the top 5. You just moved up to 4th. Looks like you were hunting down the 3rd place car. Heck, you might have been one of the fastest cars on the track. The last run. Can you outrun some of these guys in here? Or, I mean, are you kind of pretty content with where you're running in the 2nd position?
Yeah, well, I'm not sure yet because the leaders pitted in that first caution. I guess they want to go into the back and have a little fun passing everybody again, but I don't want to have that fun, so I just stay up front and let them come to me. And we'll see when they get here if I can hang with them or not. Hopefully.
All right, Jose, I know that you've been probably looking in the mirror. I think I talked to you a little earlier, and there was one name that you weren't too sure about. That was Ray Alfala, and he sits 11th. He is on fresh tires, or fresher tires than you have. Are you concerned about him?
No, I'm pretty positive I'm faster than him, so I mean, he can come here and I'll just drive around him.
All right, roger that, Captain. There's Jose Gonzalez going to go ahead and beat out Ray Alfala. Good luck to you, Jose. No jinxing.
All right, man. Take care.
And we say no jinxing because we have a habit of bringing somebody in the broadcast booth, interviewing them, and they wreck out. So we have to mention that we're not jinxing them, or else they generally run into trouble.
And definitely, I remember doing one race in particular. I think it was about 3 cautions in a row where I was just looking for a battle, and as soon as I brought up their car number, they ended up being a caution about half a lap later. So definitely don't want to jinx anybody. Still a long way to go. And like he said, he's going to want to try to avoid the trouble. We haven't seen any incidents so far up front. So maybe that's the strategy. Stay up front and avoid that calamity mid-pack, so to speak. And he feels comfortable up there, so let's see what he can do.
As we are double foul getting set for the green flag. Pace car is going to dive this time. We're going to go back green with just about 20 laps remaining. Going to have exactly, or not 20, going to have 70 laps remaining exactly when we hit the start-finish line. This is definitely going to be interesting. You're going to see some interesting things here. We have some different tire strategies that are going to play into they're going to definitely be interesting. I think you just have to keep your eye on it, honestly, here as well, to make sure that they don't spin the tires on a restart or anything like that. We saw a lot of loose conditions. You got to wonder if these cars are going to be better on the tires with the heat cycles on them. Not quite sure. We'll just keep our eye on that as the pace car works its rain forward. He's going to dive off of turn number 4, go down pit road, and will be led to the green by the 54 of Tanner Stoops.
And definitely he's done 2 restarts and he's waited a lot longer than that initial restart, so maybe he'll throw a curveball into this go early and confuse the other drivers as they may be expecting him to wait a little longer. It's going to be interesting. The pace car is going to dive down the pit road. 54 still waiting. You see the 4 CJ Lavere, who got some damage, get up to him, and he is off. The number 54, Tanner Stoops, is going to jump away from the pack as he takes the green flag. And now we have a side-by-side battle. The number 4 CJ Lavere is going to gain a position on the 26 of Jose Gonzalez. They're going to be 3 wide into turn number 1. That's the 35 of Chris Barnett. In the middle, the number 90, I do believe, of Richard Beasley, real loose on the bottom. He's going to come up into the 88, 3 wide down the backstretch. It's going to get real close, and we have a caution flag again. The calamity has ensued again, and it's back near the back of the field. I see the number 73 involved in it. That's Luis Rodriguez near the back of the field, and not too sure what caused this one.
It looks like it's it's right in front of Chad Cole. It's Sandeep Vangia, or I believe that's his. I cannot quite read that, but alright, words are a little small here, but he spins the car, gets a little sideways. This is the 07 car off of turn number 2, lap 21. Comes up, collects the 21, I believe, of Chad Cole, or that might be the 8 of Chad Cole, actually, and I can't read today, I guess, but Chad Cole gets turned around and stops on the racetrack. That's definitely going to hurt him, as he is, I want to say, 5th or 6th in the point standings here.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like the 07 of Sandeep Banji, or Sandeep Banerjee, sorry. Off of turn number 2, his 07 truck got real loose. He was running the high side with cars approaching, and we've seen this before in the previous caution. The truck just gets loose off turn 2, and he slid down the track right in front of the 8 of Chad Cole, as you mentioned, and then just came back up the track, overcorrected it, and put the 8 in the wall. The 8 got a shot, and he went flipping. So that was Chad Cole on his roof on the back straightaway. And then they continued to wreck all the way once they got to turn number 3, because we had trucks spinning out trying to avoid the incident, and that's what also caught up some other trucks.
We do apologize for any names that we may get wrong here. Not really used to some of the names in the series. Some names that we don't generally see on Mondays and Thursdays. Very rare that we come out to a Wednesday night event, but glad to be here with the Outlaw Truck Series, with the Real Sim Racing Series at Kentucky Speedway, Kentucky. Very interesting racetrack, and definitely being the source of a lot of the cautions tonight, though. Very loose racetrack, very slick. I think we're seeing that here with cars just getting all kinds of sideways off of turn number 2. Seeing a lot in the back where they generally have fresh tires, so I don't think it's a tire thing, or older tires that might be helping those guys up front, but these guys in the back definitely getting hurt. Ray Alfala moves up to the top 10. He's in 8th after, if you do remember, this is a pretty good story. Started from pit road. First caution, he comes down pit road repeatedly, like 2 or 3 times, I do believe. Works up to the top 10 around the last caution or 2, or that little stretch of a run we had. He got to the field pretty good, and I believe he might be on pretty new tires. He was up at the very top 4 wide as the caution came out. Moves from around 10th or 11th to 8th position. So pretty good run for the 56. How about Chad Coleman back up to 9th, and Adam Gilliland up to 10th. Those two started way up front, kind of pitted, went to the back. Looks like they're working their way back up to the field.
And definitely we were watching almost a 4-wide battle up front, which looked like it could have easily became a caution. We saw a car down low slide all the way up the track. I believe that was the number 90 of Richard Beasley, who is appearing to come down pit road this time. So it seems like drivers are pitting a lot, and he's going to throw a fake. So it's interesting to see how many times guys are pitting, but back to the thing, we saw the 90 slide up in front of a big group of cars. That almost got real close. The 88 had to check up to avoid that incident. Definitely a very slick track, and now that makes it 2 cautions that have been caused by a self-spin off turn 2, so that's definitely going to be the tricky turn for this race.
Yeah, definitely. While we work lap 24 at Kentucky Speedway under caution with the Real Sim Racing Outlaw Truck Series, we're going to go ahead and step away. Once again, take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
sports radio, even adult and unplugged rock and roll. HDRadioNetwork.com, one of the fastest growing internet radio networks. HDRadioNetwork.com. Take it with you, cowboy. Get the mobile app for Android, iPhone, iPad, and all the rest from TuneIn.com.
InsideSimRacing.tv, the fastest show on the internet. Sim racing news and reviews since 2007, with new shows every week.
And we're back live at Kentucky Motor Speedway, getting set to take the green flag. Pace car working off of turn number 4, going to dive this time by. It's going to be Tanner Stoops leading us to the green. Again, CJ LeVere going to be on his outside lead, or the second position changed on the last restart, as well as the third position. 26th car fell all the way back to 4th. We'll have to see if the outside line can hang in on this restart. Here we go. Pace car's off. It's on the 54 to go when he wants to go. He's checking up big time once again. And he is away. He leaves the outside sleeping. Inside lane spins the tires, so 4 is able to sneak back in. Jose Gonzalez back behind him is still stuck on the outside, but he's making up position on the third place car, or who restarted in third and still is in third, as Gonzalez stuck on the outside lane. Here we go. We might be 3 wide here for a moment. 30 car. That might. I don't even know what number that is to the very inside. We're going to be 3 wide here. 22
Two
middle.
sets of 3 wide down the back straightaway. 22 looked to the high side on the front stretch, couldn't do it. Now you see that 56. Ray Alfala is going to sneak through the 22 and the 26 of Jose Gonzalez, and he's going to go 3 wide again on that front stretch. Look at that 56 truck go to the front. The 22 also made a great move. That's going to move him up a couple positions, but Ray Alfala just gained 5 positions in 1 lap, and CJ LeVere has dropped off a bit of the number 54 of Tanner Stoops in the lead. Now it's Ray Alfala in third, but don't count it out yet. Here comes the 22, Jordan Hightower, and right behind him we have, I do believe, the 35 truck, yes, of Chris Barnett hanging in there, and that is currently your top 5 right now, as Ray Alfala is going to look to the inside of the 4 of CJ LeVere as they cross the straight.
That might have been a power move. I would say the 56, I mean, just shot way up there. I mean, he came off 1 corner sideways. I think that's the loosest I've seen him in his sideways, just a little bobble. Is what you see from the 56 machine. He is flat flying. He goes around the 4, clears the 4, and sets his sights on a race leader. The 54, Tanner Stoops, again, Alfala on fresher tires as well than most of these guys up front. Meanwhile, back around Jose Gonzalez, he's now passed by the 3 of Adam Gillen, and he's got more company from the Harrison car, the 79 machine, coming in underneath him.
And definitely maybe not as much as grip as he is expecting with not coming down pit road. He still has a lot of time to get fresh tires on that, and I think the next side-by-side position we have is about 16th. We have the 44 now, Glenn Campbell, but he's being pushed by the 77 of Byron Daly. They have now gone around another truck on the high side, so they're almost working together. That's the 93 of G. Allen Lewis getting left, and now here comes the 67 to the inside of Sean Casto. They are still side-by-side, and a big checkup up front. We're going to go 3 wide, 1 car onto the apron, the 77 sideways on the apron. There's 3 wide into 1.
Up front, just a little bit further up there, the 3 car goes around the 4 of CJ LeVere. He moves up into the 4th position very quickly there.
And definitely this pack here, about 15th. They are 2 wide, 3 rows deep, and that is led by the 6 of Chad Coleman. Then we have the number 44, Glenn Campbell, battling on the high side. Then the 77, Byron Daly. He's found his way up to the very top after being on the apron last time by the stripe. There's the 16 of Alan Cryer pull up high. Now we also have the 93 and the 67 still side by side. This is some great racing back here in the pack as they get real close in one.
6th car prevails on the inside. That outside lane car falling back now as here comes another car to the inside. He definitely is just not really getting a whole lot of help here as that 77 of Byron Daly goes around him. That's the 44, I believe, of Glenn Campbell. It's on the very outside. As the 77 of the wiggles just a little bit, bobbles. He's already hangs on to it and looks to pass the 6th car of Chad Coleman. Just behind him, 16 car falling in line. Just looking to maybe follow 77 through, didn't get around him the same way the 6 or the 77 did to the 6, but that's Alan Cryer in 16. Here comes the 33 of G. Allen, or it's the 93 of G. Allen Lewis. He's going to look to the inside, 3 wide down into turn number 3.
And the 44 also sticking the nose in there. He's going to wait up. Looks like the 6, Chad Coleman, with the advantage. Here comes the 16, though, of Alan Cryer up the middle. They almost went 4 wide there. The 67, Sean Castleton, all the way down to the bottom. This is a huge group. He gets sideways there on the apron, going to lose a lot of speed. And they are going to remain 2 wide as they work their way into turn number 1 to 93, sorry, why do I keep saying 33? The 93, G. Allen Lewis working now on that 6 of Chad Coleman. He has the advantage, but he's sideways off the corner, and they are still battling for it.
Still battling for it. How about the, just behind the 93, you got the 58 of, I do believe, Justin Wilson. He's looking underneath the 44 of Glenn Campbell. And he's going to get the spot now, sets his sights on the 6th car. Trying to follow that number, I do believe 93 of G. Allen Lewis past the 6th car. How about 16? He's moved up to the bumper of the 90 of Richard Beasley, looking to get around him if he possibly can. That is Alan Cryer. Byron Daly up in front of that group quite a bit in his 77 machine. He sits 11th with John Higman Jr. Sitting in 10th and Chris Barnett in 9th. Those two running just nose to bumper there as look up front. The leader has, well, he's fallen back to about 2nd. Actually, he's fallen back to about 4th. And Ray Alfala has taken over the lead and ran away a little bit by half a second over Jordan Hightower in the 22 machine. Adam Gilliland has worked up to the 3rd position, and he's looking to the bumper of that number 22 machine to see if he can make the pass here in his 3 machine.
And definitely, I noticed that 54, Tanner Stoops, went from 1st to 4th. He was passed by the 56, Ray Alfala, and as they, on lap 32, and as they worked their way off 2, the 54 battling hard to get back, he smacked the wall off turn number 2, and that gave him a little bit of damage, and he lost all his speed, and that's what allowed the 22 and the 3 to get around him. And now the 4, CJ LeVere, knocking on the door, trying to get that 4th spot as well.
Yes, 3 car prevails over the 22 very quickly there, and now looks to set his sights on the number 56 machine of Ray Alfala. Looks like he's very, very quick. That is Adam Gilliland. Looking around here, looks like CJ LeVere sitting in 5th of his 4 machine, looking to get underneath the 54 of Justin Wilson. If he can, gets a little sideways off the corner. And caution, I do believe. Yeah, caution out on the racetrack here, Evan Pasoko. And I think I found it. Looks like Glenn Campbell, 44 machine, 17th position, lap 35. Actually, that's 36, coming off of turn number 2. He gets a little sideways, a lot of sideways, comes down, collects the inside wall almost. I lied, he didn't collect the inside wall. He spins it around, holds the brakes down, and no contact with the wall, but caution does fly as he is stopped on the racetrack, gets it spun around, and drives away in his 44 machine. That puts us under caution here once again at Kentucky Motor Speedway.
And good job by him to recognize when he got sideways there to not try to power through it and overcorrect as we've seen so many cautions be caused by. He recognized he was spinning and he locked him up, kept it off the wall, and all he's got to do is put a 4 fresh Goodyears underneath his truck, and he's still ready to rock and roll. No damage whatsoever to that truck, and it didn't involve any other vehicles, which is always good to see. So a spin off the backstretch, a self-spin again. I do believe that was again off turn number 2, but back up front, our leaders are looking like they're going to come down pit road, and they're led by that 56.
How about the 54? He stays out all those cautions. He's now 37 laps into a run. Probably hit a pit here soon. 54 machine. He's sitting in 4th, so he's going to have a top 5 spot entering pit road after not pitting the whole time. But here come the leaders down pit road, left side of the pit road. Jose Gonzalez also just like the 54 machine after staying out all those cautions in 7th. But leaders coming to a stop. Or most of them in their stalls. It's got to be 4 tires just about for every one of these guys here, and the trucks are very, very sideways, and that's what you got to do, get the grip. If you possibly can, 4 tires all the way, I do believe, especially this early into a run with with a little over 50 laps to go here, you can't really gamble too much. See 4 tires from just about everybody. Ray Alfala in and out very quickly there in the 56 machine, and that's going to be about all pit road. 56 pretty much dominates on pit road. Jordan Hightower going to come off second, beating out Adam Gilliland. Tanner Stoops comes out the next spot, but it looks like he may have to give up a spot here. Not quite sure exactly what's going on with that. 79 looking to get around him.
And definitely that number 54, Tanner Stoops, you mentioned, he stayed out for a handful of cautions there, so he was on very older tires in comparison, but he is dropping to the back, so he may have a speeding penalty on pit road. So that's an unfortunate break for that 54, but he did a real good job on old tires hanging in there, and if it wasn't for him smacked into the wall, he probably would have been able to hang on to a top 3 for the moment, but he is slow on the apron down the backstretch, so most likely was black flagged for speeding on pit road. Definitely not something you want to do.
I would say so. And so that's going to be Alfala leading here. Go ahead and real quick talk to you about Monday nights here on Real Sim Racing, and you can watch this on ETV Live, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. The Real Sim Racing Full Throttle Cup Series this coming Monday, going to be at Michigan Speedway. Chad Cole won last week. I believe Dwayne Vincent struggled, finished way in the back, and with Cole winning at Pocono, that should give him the points lead by quite a bit now over Dwayne Vincent, who will fall back to second. Make sure you check that out. That battle very close. It seems to go back and forth. Vincent had this huge gap that seems to it kind of disappeared all of a sudden. Cole has a bit of a gap. It's all about the bonus points though, and who has the most points going into the chase. That seems to show who has the momentum when we get to the chase, and whoever has the momentum seems to be the dominant guy. Last season it was Landon Huffman. He went on to win the VRC Mark II Virtual Racing seat that's given out at the end of the season. Speaking of that seat, a simulation racing cockpit designed by championship race car driver Bob Earl. Who better than a real race car driver to design a simulation racing cockpit? After all, he knows what it means to be comfortable in the cockpit of the car. The design features a fully adjustable seat and frame, additional monitor stand, and shifter mount sold separately. Proud sponsor is the 2013 RSR Full Throttle Cup Series, a high quality and affordable virtual racing cockpit priced at just $349 plus shipping. See it at BobEarlRacing.com. Order one today.
And definitely a great series. If you guys don't watch it, make sure you check it out. And just an update, I've confirmed the number 54, Tanner Stoops, was black flagged for speeding on pit road. He actually sped out of his pit stall. An interesting turn of events. He saw that yellow number 22 tried to gain a little bit of ground and went too fast, so that's going to send him to the back. But he's shown that he has a fast truck even on old tires. So watch for him to chip away at that and work his way up to the front as we are getting ready to go green maybe next time by, as I do believe the pace car lights are off.
That they are. Carl was just behind the pace car now going around. So now we get set to go back green. It's going to be Alfala up front, Hightower up to second. How about Adam Gilliland going to be on the bumper of that 56? Adam Gilliland has been up front earlier in the night. I do believe he might have started second. He actually started second. Alfala didn't grid after he started from the pole, so Gilliland led some laps early on in the event. And now it's Alfala's turn, but Gilliland looked like he was catching Alfala the last run, and now he'll restart just behind him. They'll be on even tires. Definitely going to be interesting to see what happens here.
And definitely, and I thought that 56 truck Ray Alfala, I was a little doubting the strategy, thinking it would take maybe half the race to work his way up to the front, but he's definitely worked his way up there, but don't count those other trucks out yet. We saw them battling back pretty hard for that position when the caution came out, so definitely a lot of strong trucks up front. But it looks like the pace car lights are indeed off, and we're working our way through turns 3. We're about to hit turn number 4, and then the field is going to be in the hands of our third different driver this time, so it'll be interesting to see how he works this. We saw in the start, we saw the truck jump early, and then we saw our next 4 or so cautions. Person leading us to green waited a bit, so it'll be interesting to see how the 56 deals with this, but the pace car is down on pit road, and the 56 is waiting, and he's going to take off a little bit earlier. Green flag in the air.
Yeah, he's away, and looks like he's going to pull away by quite a bit over that 22 machine of Jordan Hightower. Adam Gillen still side by side for the third position. 4 car now looking inside him. Never mind, he's too low in the corner. Might get a little loose there, had to back off, so 3 car going to take over that spot. It's just behind them. It looks like we're side by side for the 4th position. That's going to be LeVere on the inside, and Harrison Whitelitz on the outside. Sorry, trying to read names here. He's on the outside. Looks like he's using a lot of the racetrack, doing the smartest thing, trying to make sure he uses as much of the racetrack as he can, keep the car wound up, keep the speed up, and try to make the outside lane work. And he seems to be doing rather well up there as he's sticking with the 4 car. Looks like he might even pass the 4 car as he works through turns 1 and 2.
And immediately behind them, we have the number 42 Tyler Young battling on the inside. The 26 CJ LeVere as the 79 gets wicked loose off 2. They're looking to go 3 wide, but the 77 right behind him, that's Byron Daly. He was all over the back. Remember that 42 on the front stretch. He's looking to make it 3 wide. 42 comes up a bit. He has to get out of the gas. And now they're going to be 3 wide. Jose Gonzalez to the middle of Harrison Weidlitz and the 42 of Tyler Young. They're going to be 3 wide going into turn 1. Now the 79 is going to back off. He doesn't want to be way up the track. And they're going to go back to 2 wide and contact right behind him, 93 into the 77. This is some hard racing.
3 wide. Daly comes up the racetrack, looks 3 wide, thinks better of it. Jose Gonzalez, next corner, looks 3 wide, goes straight through the middle lane, takes both positions, now or at least takes one of them, now losing that position, falling backwards on the outside lane. He got really sideways off turn number 2, and his momentum just really down here, but that was interesting.
And that's what we've seen off of these restarts. We haven't had a long green flag run, so all it's been is battling essentially for the majority of the night. They now single file out. That's the 93 of G. Allen Lewis. Has finally got around the 77 of Byron Daly, but here comes the 77. He now has a run as they're going to work his way down the back straightaway, and they're going to be 2 wide again, so they're not letting any position go. They're going for it.
Well, you can't let any positions go. You got to go for it now with just about 45 laps remaining. Going to be 46 to go at the start-finish line. We're just about halfway. Going to be halfway when we cross the start-finish line next time by. Adam Gillen has taken over the 2nd position over Jordan Hightower and pulled away by 0.2 of a second and trying to run down Ray Alfala if he can. Back here, the 77 now looking underneath the 26 of Jose Gonzalez, and the 77 has some company just behind him, so Jose Gonzalez cannot catch a break to get back on the inside. It looks like as Gonzalez going to lose another spot to possibly the 33 of G. Allen Lewis.
And definitely see the 26 of Jose Gonzalez not backing off the 77 of Byron Daly right behind them. He gets on the bumper of that 77 again, letting him know that he's there, but unfortunately, now that 93, G. Allen Lewis is going to battle back on the inside, and they're going to once again be 2 wide. And guess who this brought into the picture? Sitting in 10th now, the 35 of Chris Barnett is now into the picture here. Is they're 2 wide. He's caught up to them, and now also the 77 Byron Daly now working his way around the number 79 of Harrison Weidlitz, and now he's got to run on the 42 of Tyler Young. He's going to look to the inside, puts the block in there, and he's not going to back it off. He's looking, and he's going to go 2 wide into turn number 1.
As he throws it down, they're looking up a little bit further, I do believe. Look at the 70. Oh, it was the 42 just wiggled. He just lost the position to the 77, and here comes a few others. The 33, G. Allen Lewis, and Jose Gonzalez just behind him. Is the 42. It's all kinds of sideways here through the corner.
And definitely that 93 truck right on the inside now, the 42 of Tyler Young. And this has now become a battle for, I do believe it is 6th position now. The 93 is going to get the advantage into turn number 1. And the 26, Jose Gonzalez, is going to get a little bit of a bump from the 79. That's Harrison Weidlitz again. These guys have been battling out since we dropped the green flag again. And they're not letting off. They're really racing for it. And it's great to see that at such a slick track. And they're making it work. And now here comes the 16 also of Alan Cryer into the picture. The 6, Chad Coleman. They are working their way through the field together.
That they are in the 16 machine and his little buddy there. Watching the 16 now, look maybe to the inside of the 42. 42 going backwards after getting that big time sideways. It's definitely hurting him. 6 cars shoot to the inside of the 16, and he's looking to maybe follow underneath the 42. 42 coming down the racetrack just a little bit. Maybe not wanting to see any of it, but no choice there. It's caution flies on the racetrack.
And this will bring out another caution Not sure what the cause is yet. I see a big pile up on the back straightaway. I know the 90 truck is involved. That's Richard Beasley. Going to try to see what caused the incident. Looks like they were working their way off turn number 2, and he was battling with the 06, and that is the 06 of Bruce Perry off of turn number 2 on lap 49. And it looks like the 06 was there, and he just got the 30 loose. Maybe he thought he was clear, tried to come down on the exit of the corner, made slight contact, and then once he realized the mistake, he checked up and went up, but the 30 just got loose and tended to chase it up the racetrack, and that put him into the 06, and then that turned that truck around in front of the field, and the 90 being sideways in front of the field, that sent the 69 truck around. The 86 managed to get by, the 88 went nose into it, never mind, the 69 went down, or 36 went into the 69, and when there's a truck sideways off the exit of turn 2 again, seems like that turn is eating these trucks alive. Not much you can do to avoid it.
Well, that changes things, kind of a chain reaction that brings out the caution. I was watching the battle up front. Adam Gilliland maybe running down Ray Alfalo a little bit there. Now he's going to be going into pit road second. Last time he lost a spot, and that was just about 10 laps ago, as it looks like here we come down pit road. Probably going to come down to the attention of their crews. Get 4 tires, most likely. Track very slick again. 4 tires, pretty much the way to go here tonight.
And definitely, and if you're chasing somebody down on pit road, it's real easy to speed. And we saw that catch the number 54 Tanner Soups. You're going to enter pit road right here, in Adam Gilliland's case, just slightly before Ray Alfala, which means you're going to probably get let off of the jack, maybe just tenths of a second before. You see they're pretty even there. And when you get down first, you're going to want to gun it and get going. But these trucks can get up to pace road or pit road speed very quickly, and it's going to be pretty even off pit road. You see the 3 is going to try to look to the outside, nothing's going to work, and the 56 is going to lead them off of pit road.
Yeah, but the 3, and here we have about some very fast pit stops, most likely fuel only, and 2 tires that are going to win the battle off pit road ultimately. But 56 wins off of pit road for 4 tires, beats the 3 out. Gilliland, at least he didn't lose the spot there. I think he's got the lane choice he needs now. He doesn't have to worry about getting around the 22 this time, so long as he can keep up with the 56 of Alfala. Now, while we pace once again here at Kentucky Motor Speedway with the Real Sim Racing Outlaw trucks here, just go ahead and step away once again here and take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with more racing action.
Inside SimRacing.tv, the fastest show on the internet. Sim racing news and reviews since 2007, with new shows every week.
Landon Huffman coming to a comfortable lead, coming out of 2. He's got about 8 car lengths, put it half a second over Dwayne Vincent as Chad Cole works the number 2 spot.
Time is running out. Vincent's got it. Cole wants it to the wall. Chevrolet puts the bumper to the 13 of Vincent. Vincent not backing down. He's in second. You know, and we got 1 car on the bottom of the 10 car.
Hey, JD here with ETV Live, and let me tell you something. If it's too big for the pickup truck and you need to move it, there's only one trucking company you need to call, and don't bother with the Yellow Pages Cowboy. I'll give you that number in a minute. Manufactured goods, automotive, technical equipment, furniture, even if you need a reefer, Gary Mercer Trucking Incorporated is the only choice, cowboy. With locations in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada, Rancho Cucamonga, California, if you need to move it, store it, and keep it cold, you need to call Gary Mercer Trucking Incorporated. Long haul, short haul, or just across town, Gary Mercer has the best trained and qualified drivers to get your load from point A to point B with professionalism and on time. So remember, Hoss, if it don't fit in a pickup truck, you're gonna need a real truck, cowboy. Sponsors of ETV Live's Friday Night Showdown, Gary Mercer Trucking Incorporated, 1-800-668-2980.
We're back at Kentucky Motor Speedway, getting set to go back green flag racing. It's going to be Tanner Stoops leading us to the green flag in his 54 machine on, I do believe, fuel only or 2 tires. The same thing with the 93, and he's going to be on the outside starting in position number 2. Fowler going to be 3rd with Adam Gilliland 4th. Jordan Hightower rounds out the top 5 with Chris Bennett on his outside. We're getting set to go back green, though, as the leaders work through turns 3 and 4. Now pace car going to dive in just a moment.
And definitely, that's the strategy that 54 truck needed to get his way back up front. We saw him running up there earlier. Got caught speeding on pit road. That's what sent him to the back. But I don't know if they're going to be able to hold off that 56 and 3. Rail follow Adam Gilliland. They looked really fast when they were up front, and since they got 4 tires and the front row does not, it'll be interesting to see if they can hold them off. But that pace car is going to dive down the pit road right now, and the field's in the hands of Adam Gill, and he's going to get a shot from the 56, gets real loose. They go now. The 3 is all over the 33. They're side by side. 3 wide now.
And that was a big stack up. Both guys on the outside, on the front row spun their tires. Even Alfalo spun the tires, and that caused a big checkup. 22 going to be the first car to sneak through up front. He gets around the 4 car, 3 car now looking to get to the bumper of the 22. I don't think the plan was to stay up front. They just had to get up front and have some track position. I think they'd be all right. That was a plan on maybe having a quick caution coming down pit road with the leaders in about 10 laps and entering a lot closer to the front than what they were. You see the 54 though, it's not working as he's not being passed by the 3, and the 3 is to the bumper of that 2 of the Jordan Hightower.
And there's the early caution. Maybe a little bit too early for them, though. Caution flag back on the racetrack. What a huge checkup there. And one truck that mainly really got a benefit from that is the 77 of Byron Daly. Hopped 5 positions, and he got up to 7th now. So I saw that 77 go through the middle 3 wide there to gain a couple positions. But we have another caution on the speedway. Not too sure what has caused this one.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure either. I'm still trying to figure out exactly what happened on the racetrack. And I'm hearing look for the 43 car. So Doug Roth, it was big wreck on the back, or on the front straightaway. Position 22 car, and it looks like it started with the. There's a black car on the racetrack. Looks stopped. And I want to say that might be the 67 of Sean Castano is in front of him. You look at this, and I think I might have probably got the 58 of Justin Wilson. I thought so. Wilson gets stopped on the racetrack. Coming off turn number 4, he's 17th position. Big check up in front of him. He shoots down the inside, comes back up the racetrack, collects the car, comes up the racetrack. He's sideways, gets bounded by the 43, and large crash in the front straightaway. Lap 55 of 90 here.
And I'm not sure if this is part of the same incident, but I've also noticed that the 35 of Chris Barnett running off turn number 4 went 3 wide. He lost a lot of speed and got clipped by the 58, I do want to say, of Justin Wilson. And that sent Justin Wilson down to the bottom into the grass, and he slid back up into the racetrack and caught the 43 of Doug Roth.
That's actually what I just been talking about. So part of the same incident. That's actually where it started, and I think that's what brings out the caution in the end. Was he came back up the racetrack, most likely the cause. But looks like most of the people staying out here. I'm not seeing many takers on pit road. So this puts us at a caution once again. Lap 57 of 90, just about got to be somewhere close to 40 to go. I want to say, or 30 to go actually when we get to 61. talk really quickly about Inside Sim Racing, sponsoring the Thursday night series, the Asphalt Assault series, which you can catch again tomorrow night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Should be at Michigan International Raceway, but sponsoring the Thursday night Real Sim Racing series, Inside Sim Racing, your first and best choice for all news and reviews in online motorsports. Join Darren Ganji and Sean Cole for the latest and greatest in product reviews, simulation auto racing games for the PCs and Xbox crowd, from steering wheels to full-size racing rigs, updates on popular racing games, and a whole lot more. The Yellow Pages of online auto racing. Inside Sim Racing has it all. Visit them at isrtv.com.
We've had 7 cautions so far tonight. We've ran 21 laps of caution, and we're currently on lap 57. And you mentioned about 30 laps to go when we go back green here. And we haven't really seen too many long green flag runs. I think the longest was around 10 laps in that ballpark. And definitely when you mentioned the number 54, Tanner Stoops, trying to get track position, that's definitely what you're going to need if we continue to have cautions, because it doesn't really give people with 4 tires that are deep in the field to chip their way away.
And definitely didn't help the 54 car because he's going to be on these old tires, wanting to come back down. I think he's going to have to wait until the caution or 2. Because we didn't give him any laps in that run, but he went back in a hurry. Again, we've noticed, we saw it last time by, or on that last restart, that spinning the tires, it is a big deal. Now we saw the whole front row, or nearly the first half of a dozen rows. It seemed like all of them spun the tires at the same time. That definitely almost caused a wreck.
Definitely saw the 56 rail follow get into the back of the 54. And then person riding third in that line on the inside got into the back of the 56, and it caused a huge checkup, and I don't know how that didn't turn into a caution. They were 3 wide by the time they hit the stripe, and we saw, and there's a difference when you're 3 wide and everyone's at the same speed, but there were trucks at all different speeds, so they did a real good job of almost doing damage control and still going for it, but being smart, looking around and making it through those turns 1 and 2, especially considering how treacherous turn 2 is. I think that's caused about 3 cautions so far tonight.
I would say it has. It's caused a majority of the cautions here. Turn 4, not an innocent by the standard, but turns 1 and 2, very slick. It's a unique way to enter the corner. You can see most of these guys run about a lane up the racetrack, and it changes between cars you run, I believe, and depending on where you're comfortable and how fast you're running and what kind of pace you're running. These guys obviously comfortable about a lane up off of the bottom, especially through 1 and 2, 3 and 4. But when you see 1 and 2, they don't quite run on the very bottom. You get down there, it seems like the cars slide quite a bit. Bumps down there can shove the race car up the track also, or the truck up the track, which you don't want. And up there, about 2 or 3 lanes up the racetrack in 1 and 2, you can see where there was a little strip that I do believe was repaved. That makes for more grip, but it does slow the car down. It's just a slower way around the racetrack. What does help with the side-by-side, I do believe. Either way, though, it's slick. I mean, this whole racetrack is slick, and I don't think it's a repaved groove. I think it's just where the track gets dark. Yeah, there's more grip up there. But I think you don't need. But yeah, definitely. It's the track is just slick all over. That's Kentucky, and that's what makes it so hard to race at.
And definitely, it's not to the slick where the point where it's just causing incidents, but it's causing self spins. And these are some of the greatest drivers. I'm looking at these guys. I couldn't do anything like this. A very talented group of racers we got in this, and it is a tricky track, definitely. And the lights are out on the pace car, so we're going to get back to racing this time by. And a quick update from that caution that involved the 43. Not too happy about that, and they have just brought his truck behind the wall, so that's going to end his day, and he was running in a fairly decent position, so tough break for Doug Roth, but we're heading into turn 3, and we're going to go back green on lap 60.
It's going to be Outlaw leading the field. 22 car, that's Jordan Hightower going to be on his outside. Then you're going to have Adam Gillen in the 3, going to restart in 3rd. How about not Justin Wilson? That is Tanner Stoops in the 54, going to be scored in the 4th position with G. Allen Lewis 5th. And CJ LeVere running up the top 6, or running up that 3rd row on the outside lane. Pace car's off, but the field is in the hand of Ray Alfala. He's away. 3 car spins the tires. 22 spins the tires. And it looks like Alfala gets a large jump over the rest of the field. Looks like the 54 going to be side by side with the 3. 3 car throws the car into turns number 1 and 2 on the inside lane, and he takes over the 3rd position.
77, Byron Dale is going to make it 3 wide off turn 2. 93, Gianlin Lewis is getting squished in the middle. He's going to now pull in line behind the number 54 of Tanner Stoops. And it was interesting to see our leaders go all the way down to the apron on that start. Now you see the 93 wiggles his way back in line, and he is going to lose that one position to the number 77. 77 has a fast truck. It's going to be a matter of time to see if he can get the right track position, if he gets a caution to work his way up, but definitely watch out for that truck as the laps tick down. And another truck back up here right behind the 93, the number 4, CJ Lavere, starting to look his way back up into the top 10. He's sitting 7th.
Watching that 77, 3Y Daily is what he's known as. You can find him on Twitter with that name, actually. He is now worked past the 54s. It's sideways. He's going to be all right. Slides up the racetrack, saves it, and falls back in line. I do believe that he's up to the 5th position. Going to be 4th now as he crosses the start-finish line and sets his sights on the cars just in front of him. 33 car also goes around the 54. 54 on old tires. He's passed by the 4, Lavere. Here comes the 42, also trying to get around. That is Tyler Young. And he's not alone because Jose Gonzalez just on his bumper. Can't forget Chad Coleman's back here. He's got just a line of cars coming to get around him.
And he doesn't have the preferred lane. You see the 42 getting sideways off the corner. He's still side by side with that 54 truck. But you see the 54 get stuck on the high side and he can't pull into his preferred groove. He lost 3 spots that lap alone. And the inside's going to prevail. Now the 42 gets clear. Now right away the 26 Jose Gonzalez comes by, followed by the 6 of Chad Coleman, the 60 John Hidman Jr., and also behind him, the number 16 of Alan Cryer. And there's just a whole bunch of trucks right behind him, and if he can't get down there, that could cause some very serious issues for that 54, especially because he's on old tires. He is sliding up off the corners.
30 car just about took out the 16. He slid up the racetrack. That's Sean Casto just around. He's a little ways back there, but I was just watching out of the corner of my eye. This 54, I was pretty close to him, going backwards, in a hurry. And I also want to mention John Hidman Jr. running in the 10th position, just cracked the top 10 runner-up at Pocono Monday night in the Real Sim Racing Full Throttle Cup Series, subbing for Glenn Campbell. So he had a valiant run. I mean, it was very strong. Gave Chad Cole a run for his money, and he's in the side of the top 10 here. You can look for him as he's really good at the challenging racetracks.
In the 16, sitting back in 12th position, that's Alan Cryer. Put him in 11th right now. He came all the way down the racetrack trying to almost get rid of a draft from that 54 of Tanner Stoops. He ran the high side, and as soon as he hit the start finish, he dove it down low, which caused a whole bunch of trucks to swerve, and that ended up actually benefiting the 54 as Tanner Stoops can now pull back in line and try to get back into rhythm because that 30 of Nick Silver was knocking on the door. But caution flag will return to the racetrack, and we have another incident on track. Smoke down the backstretch.
And it looks like Jeff Eden has turned around the outside wall in his 91 machine 22nd position, lap 65. Looks like he's coming off turn number 2. Car in front of him gets sideways. That is the 67 of Sean Casto. Position 32 comes back up and collects him, and just a large crash. Multiple cars involved on the back straightaway just off of turn number 2.
Turn 2 has been so rough on these race trucks all night long, and it's going to claim another victim again. Another truck this time, rather. Normally we've seen it on the high side. You mentioned a 91. Jeff Eden just got loose on the bottom. Such a tricky turn, and he got sideways and collected, or the 91 rather was collected by the truck that got loose. My apologies for mixing up those numbers there. But that's another time where we just see a cell spin, and the person that spun out was the 67, I do believe, of Sean Casto got loose. And again, when you're coming off a corner, it's the hardest place to avoid an incident. And when that 67 came up into the 91, they were both sideways in front of the field and backwards. And many trucks had nowhere to go, and that's going to collect a handful of trucks. But meanwhile, back up front, I do believe our leaders are down pit road.
That they are going to be coming down to the attention of their crews with just about 20 laps remaining here at the Kentucky Speedway. They come to a stop in their stall. It's going to be Alfala in first. Right sides go up on that machine as Looks like he's going to be in and out very quickly here. Right side's down very quickly. He's going to get beat out by G. Allen Lewis, I do believe, though. And Chad Coleman, here's another car coming up that's going to beat him out. Don't quite know exactly who that is. That is John Abbott, 10 car, I thought so, who's going to also come out. So 3 cars beat out Alfala. And then there's a 77 just behind Alfala exiting pit road. That's the 77 Byron Daly, who goes from what was 4th up to the bumper of that number 56 machine.
Definitely the 93 G. Allen Lewis. He took 2 tires, and one thing also to note, Jose Gonzalez in the 26 and CJ Lavere in the 4, they did not come down pit road.
Definitely interesting strategies playing out here. Varying strategies, to say the least. But while we pace once again here at Kentucky Speedway with the Real Sim Racing Outlaw Truck Series. We're going to go ahead and step away one more time here for a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with more green flag racing action, hopefully from Kentucky.
Race fans, it's time for those most famous words in motorsports. Travis, start your engines!
Michael Conti comes up at a corner number 4, and the checkered flag, he wins his first NASCAR
We're back live at Kentucky Motor Speedway. We're not at Kansas, we're at Kentucky, just to clarify. Evan Paselka a little lost up here in the broadcast booth at first, but back live at Kentucky Speedway, getting set to go back green. Varying strategies, 4 cars, 26 cars stay out, 93 cars, 16, I do believe, fuel or 2 tires, one of the 2. John Abbott, fuel or 2 tires, and then you have Ray Alfala, he's all the way back to 6, he's got 4. Jordan Hightower, he's in 7th, he has 4. Byron Daly, he's in 8th, he has 4. Chad Coleman back in 9th, he has 4. And Adam Gillen is falling all the way back to the 10th position, he's on 4. But he got really sideways in the last run, lost quite a few spots. That's what put him in the back.
Yeah, and I guess Kentucky and Kansas both start with a K, so that's enough to confuse me. But we're getting ready to go back green here. The trucks are doubled up, and we're going to try to take another stab at things here with just about 20 laps to go, and we take the green flag, 21, or in that range. It's going to be the 4 of CJ Lavere and Jose Gonzalez. No tires and no fuel for those trucks. They're going to be on the front row. Then we're followed by a handful, 3 or so trucks on 2 tires, and then Ray Alfala on 4.
And green flag flies 4 cars away. 26 gonna stay dead even with him. The outside lane coming across start finish line. They cross the line for lap 70. On lap 70 now with 90, just 21 laps remaining. That is G. Allen Lewis comes underneath Jose Gonzalez on 2 tires, I believe. And he makes that look easy. Oh, as he wiggles way up the racetrack, gets way loose, and he's still coming to the inside of the 4. Looks to make it 2x2 or side by side here for the lead. Meanwhile, going to have the 77 3 wide with the 10, the 26. He comes to the racetrack, turns the 10, and the 10 goes up, collects the 26 just a little bit. That's a wreck on the racetrack, and that could bring up, I believe that does bring up the caution here very quickly here with 20 laps remaining.
Caution flies. Nick Silver also involved in the incident, and that 77 truck is getting really brave, and it just pushed up the track the slightest bit, and it was a combination of the 10 moving down to get that 26, who was a little bit slower. He came down a little bit, try to give him a little bit more room, and the 77 pushed up a little bit, and slight contact. 56 Rail Follow almost got into the back bumper of the 77 of Byron Daly, but that sent that 10 truck around into the outside wall, and he just came down right in front of the 30. 30 was actually side by side with a handful of other trucks, and there was no way he had a chance of avoiding John Abbott stopped on the racetrack, and that is going to cause a melee there, and the number 37 of Pat Dodson is going to be your lucky dog as well.
And I'll tell you what, I believe Jordan Hightower, or not Jordan Hightower there, but Byron Daly could be sent to the rear of the field for causing that incident. It's whether he's found to be the cause or not of that caution will decide where he restarts really, and whether he goes down pit road or not here. But back on the caution very quickly here, with 20 laps to go, going to be 19 start-finish line. Laps really winding down here. Going to take a moment to quickly talk about Derek Spear Designs, sponsoring in part with the Inside Sim Racing of the RSR Asphalt Salt Series on Thursday nights. Derek Spear Designs manufactures top-shelf simulation racing components such as pedals, shifters, butt boxes, and more. Reasonably priced. This is the kind of gear a championship racing driver needs. Bulletproof and boot stopping strong. See his gear at DerekSpearDesigns.com.
And definitely
who writes that stuff?
Mouthful for sure. But the number 77 Byron Daly you mentioned, he could be receiving, and he has received an EOL penalty, which means he has to go to the end of the longest line, so he will have to restart in the back. Now, it's not impossible, but he is going to be way back there, and obviously he has a fast truck, and I don't know if he has enough laps to make it back up, but he was definitely moving forward, and you saw CJ Lavere, he left right when that pace car went off the track, and Jose Gonzalez right with him. Those guys are teammates. They're chatting together in the team speak, so they planned that, orchestrated that. Unfortunately, not the speed that Jose Gonzalez was looking for, and we ended up 3 wide, and that has brought out our caution, and that has also put G. Allen Lewis now to the front.
That it has, and he's on, I believe, either 2 tires with fuel. I cannot really decide what he's on. I don't know, but he got out rather quickly, got around everybody in front of him. Now he's going to have the restart. It's in his hands. Ray Alfalo back to 5th, but and Byron Daly, actually Alfalo moved up to 4th. I was going to say he might have to watch out for Daly, but Daly going to get sent to the rear of the field, so that'll move Alfalo up to 4th and have Alfalo on the 2nd row on the outside lane. Allen Lewis going to have to run away here with less than 20 to go. This is definitely going to be interesting here, though.
And don't count out that 56 Ray Alfalo. He's definitely shown that he's going to go for it. We saw earlier in the race, slicing and dicing through the field to get up there. Definitely always someone that you want to watch out for. And also the 22 of Jordan Hightower, not too far behind, sitting in the 6th position. He also a contender. And then the 54 Tanner Stoops, he was able to come down pit road and get some new tires. So he's going to work his way back to the front. We know he's had a fast truck all night long, so it'll be interesting to see how things work.
That it will here, as we still are single file here at Kentucky Speedway. Getting set. We should be just a lap or 2, maybe even, I wouldn't say 3. I think we're a lap or 2 away from the drop of the green flag once again. We're going to talk once again about, or not once again, but for the first time tonight, the HD Radio Network home of the ETV Live Radio. The HD Radio Network gives you a variety of stations to choose from, including Big 80s Metal, all HDR Classics, all HDR Country, and more. Take your pick and rock your brains out, dude. HD Radio Network stations are featured on iTunes Radio, TuneIn Radio, and also listen in the Windows Media Guide. Listen today from the HDRadioNetwork.com. That is actually HDRadioNetwork.com, not the, but HDRadioNetwork.com. Take it with you or get the mobile app from TuneIn.com.
And some good stuff there. I guess the viewers would enjoy it more that you're reading them off. Obviously, it's a mouthful there, but at least we don't have to put it on the screen TNT style, so to speak. But still pacing here. It's been a night of cautions, so to speak, and that's really shaken out the way this race has gone. And with such a big field of trucks, you know that wrecks are going to be imminent. We started with about 40 trucks on the lead lap, and we are down to 29. 29 is still a pretty big number. That's including your most recent lucky dog, and that is a 37, Pat Dotson, with his torn-up race truck. But pretty significantly smaller number than what we started with.
I would say a very significantly, or a very significant, well, a significant smaller amount. Yeah, exactly. I have very proper English sometimes, but yeah, cars. A lot of cars knocked out here, definitely for sure. Over 10 cars knocked out. That's not something you want to see. We saw a lot of incidents, especially off of turn number 2 tonight. And I don't think we saw the last of them here as we get set to go back green flag racing. We're double file working through the back straightaway, just about to turn number 3, and then we'll be in turns number 4. Pace car will pull off of 4, and it will be the restart will be in the hands of that number 39 machine or 93 machine of G. Allen Lewis. He'll have to run because Alfala's coming, and he knows it. Gonzalez has not been too slow today. He's been very, very quick, but he did stay out the last time, so he's on old tires. I don't think he has much concern with the 26 machine. Here we go. Pace car gets set to dive, and it's going to be in that 93 car. There he goes, 93 car. It's on him. He's checking up for a second. He's gone. He doesn't spin the tires very much. He does a little bit. Outside lane does not roll. 56 cannot go anywhere yet. He has to wait. 22 shoots to the outside. 56 to the inside. He's going to go 3 wide up the middle if he possibly can. Never mind, he's going to stick to the outside. Just behind the 4 C. De Oliveira. They're side by side. Gonzalez on the inside gets a little sideways, and here comes Alfala. 3 wide down the middle in the back straightaway.
The 3 Adam Gilliland also pushed way up the track there, and here goes the 56 again, slicing and dicing his way through the field for that second position. CJ De Oliveira spun the tires pretty bad down the restart, and that caused a big checkup. And you mentioned almost went 3 wide into the corner, and that 3. Just to bring that back up, 3, Adam Gillen was on the bottom. They are still all in a pack right behind CJ Lavere. That's about 6 trucks right around each other, 2 wide, and it's really easy to just slide up, so it'll be interesting to see how they sort these things out. Is now the 42. Tyler Young is going to come to the picture. Big pack, though, and that is all a battle for 3rd place. And the caution flag will fly again.
Yeah, I was going to say Ray Alfala was actually running down G. Allen Lewis. Now he won't have to. Caution flies with 15 laps to go. And I do believe it is Bruce Perry, 05 machine, 21st position. Looks like off of turn number 2, or 06 actually, 06, not 05. But comes up and I don't know exactly what happens. He comes up the racetrack. 74 gets a little sideways, maybe above him. Yeah, 74 comes down, collects the 06, puts the 06 in the inside wall. 77 gets collected in this a little bit as well. So big contact. This should end the night of the 06 machine, unfortunately.
And I'll tell you, this turn 2 here at Kentucky is really standing out in comparison to quote-unquote Miles the Monster at another tough track, Dover, Delaware. Man, that turn is just eating these trucks alive, and give another point to that turn. And it's such a difficult thing. And again, the 06 just minding his own business, pushed up a little bit off the corner. 74 got the slightest bit loose, and that sent the 06 for a nose-first dive into the inside wall. That is definitely a tricky turn.
I would say so here as pace again here at Kentucky Motor Speedway. Most everybody stays out. once again, and that's going to be G. Allen Lewis. Going to be on the older tires compared to Ray Alfala. It looks like LeVere on the older tires. Adam Gillen going to be up to 4th. He's going to be right behind that 56 machine on the restart. Gonzalez falls back to 5th with the 22 of Jordan Hightower back on his outside when we go back green. 16 and 6 still in line, so they're still up here fighting with the 42 and the 54 as well in this group. Now I think it's time once again we try to get somebody on the radio again here if we possibly can. Kind of wondering who to pick now.
And definitely lots of different trucks showing lots of different speed. And one truck that I was expecting to move up a little bit more was that 54 Tanner Stoops. He has remained in the 10th position, and he was behind that big group. That was about 8 or so trucks all battling for 3rd position alone, and that was a pretty good battle. And they managed to not bring up the caution, but again, a self-spin off turn 2. Such a tough corner, it appears, especially in these trucks, the way they like to slide around on such a slick asphalt surface. Definitely creating a rough night for these guys, but back up front, G. Allen Lewis is going to try to hold off. That 56 Ray Alfala has shown speed all night long. The question is, will he have enough laps to get around? And we know the 93 is going to be in control of the start. We're going to have about 10 laps to go when we go green. And if there's another quick caution, then 93 is definitely going to like that, because when he gets the control of the start there, he's going to get a pretty good distance, and then those other trucks going to reel him back in. So the question is, can he hold him off?
No, just about 13 to go right now. Going to be 12 with the start-finish line. We have somebody on the radio. He is none other than the points leader in the 21 machine, Matt Lacrosse. Matt, this is Dakota Ehrman. Evan Paseko up in the broadcast booth to get a copy.
Yes, sir.
And man, you've been really kind of quiet today. I know you was hanging around 17th, 18th, maybe around 20th earlier on in the night. We saw you up as far as about 10th, even inside the top 10. You fell back after some strategy, and other guys staying out, kind of pushing you back. Now you're back up to 12th. Looks like you might be silently and slowly creeping your way back up to the field, which is about 10 to go. What's the strategy here?
Yeah, I was up in the top 10 earlier, and had some electrical problems. The game, I had a light show going on, so I had to stop and try to fix some stuff. Went a lap down, got my lap back, working my way up. And if we can get a green flag run more than 2 laps, I mean, I'm fast. I mean, I can get right up there. Maybe not contend to win, but I feel I can get in the top 10, maybe top 7, 8. But these cautions are killing me.
And Matt, what's the goal tonight? Finish top 5, or and maybe wreck yourself, or go all out for it? Or are you going to take it easy, just try to get the top 10 here?
The goal is to finish. Whatever way that happens, without wrecking, that is my goal.
Roger that, Matt. I know you're about to go back green, so good luck here. We're not jinxing you.
Thank you.
And there was Matt Lacrosse back down, and he's away, and we're getting set to go back green. And I lied. You know what? Pace car lights are back on. They never went up. I saw everybody doubled up here, and I'm sitting there thinking, oh, we're about to go back green. I don't know what I was thinking now. I probably should look at the pace car lights or look for some confirmation there, but they should go off this time. I didn't want to distract them too long. And so it looks like, yeah, everybody's getting set here, so they're definitely going to go off this time. We should go back green when we come around one more time here. So one more long pace lap. Looking at just around, I do believe, a minute 45 seconds per pace lap.
And definitely it's the number 93 on the inside. That's G. Allen Lewis. He's going to take us to the green now. An interesting thing, Ray Alfala sitting second has told the drivers he's going on pace. Well, he's the second place car. So I don't know if he's trying to mess with them. He's trying to get in their head or something, but it'll be interesting to see what happens here on the restart. And then the 4th, CJ LeVere, who was up front for the beginning of the race, dropped back a bit. He's brought his truck back up there. Then we also have 26 Jose Gonzalez, 22 of Jordan Hightower. So we have a bunch of fast trucks up front, and it's going to be a 10-lap shootout, assuming we can make it green the rest of the way. But the way that these guys are racing for it, they're going to be going for it. I don't think we're going to make it that far.
Well, I wouldn't. I don't know what to say. We'll have to keep our eye on it. We'll just have to watch, see what happens. I don't know, honestly. It's Kentucky. It's a loose racetrack. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw 2 cautions and saw the race end under caution. I wouldn't be surprised if it went green the rest of the way. I mean, really anything can happen. It is racing, and it always usually does. So here we go, working through 3 and 4. Field gets set to take the green. Ray Alfala getting set to go on the pace car, and he's getting set to possibly be black flagged, I would say. as G. Alan Lewis is the race leader, so he has control of the restart. Here we go, pace car. Just about there. One more time, we'll try this again here. Pace car is gone. Alfala stays, and there he goes. There's the 93. He's away. He spins the tires big time. Alfala does not. Alfala is going to fall back in line with him. Uses the apron, going to get underneath him if he can. Not quite, and Alan Lewis not going to give him the room to get underneath him through the tri-oval, and he's going to have to shove it down to the very bottom to get underneath him in turns 1 and 2. He gets the apron, gets a little sideways, a lot of sideways. Going to lose a lot of time. 93, big time sideways as well. 93 hangs out of the spot, and here's the 3 to the outside of the 56 machine of Ray Alfala.
Man, that 56 was sideways off too. He had the forces winner in 1. You saw the 3 Adam Gilliland get a big run. He's now going to slide back into the 3rd position, and a well-played restart by the 56. We've seen 2nd place get left the majority of the night. He almost throttled up to try to scare the 93, let off, and as soon as 93 kept going, 56 did not spin the tires, and the caution flag will fly again. Not what the 56 Ray Alfala wanted to see. 93 car definitely gonna like this, but the caution is going to fly again on the racetrack.
Yeah, it flies for the 5th place car, the 22 of Jordan Hightower. This is gonna put us under caution again, but he's racing Jose Gonzalez in the 5th position, coming across lap 82, and Jose just gets into him, puts him in the outside wall pretty much. As the 22 just kind of tried to correct it, or try to keep it away from the pack, I guess, and just threw it into the outside wall or something. And is able to keep it up there and not collect any more cars, but a hard hit for the driver of the number 22 machine.
And definitely, it looks like he may have been slowed down when he got to the bumper of the Ford of CJ LeVere on the front straightaway, which allowed the 26 of Jose Gonzalez to get a run. And I'm looking into turn number 3. Looks like the 26 may have pushed up a little bit. Maybe the 22 came down. You knew he was there, just the slightest bit of contact. And as soon as the 22, I checked on his onboard view. As soon as he felt that his truck was about to go around, he swung that steering wheel all the way to the right, and it just caught so much grip, he just turned directly into the outside wall, and that was near the front of the field. It blew his engine, and it managed to not collect a handful of cars.
Just barely, but with less than 10 to go, most of the guys are going to stay out. You have to know 93 is going to have a lot more up his sleeve on the restart this time. He's going to have to hang on. He might have to pray for a caution or two, but well, we pace one more time. I do believe this is our final commercial break of the night, so I would go ahead and step away, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Plus other listeners where you could hear everything from big 80s metal to classic rock and roll, country radio, ETV, live sports radio, even adult and unplugged rock and roll. HDRadioNetwork.com, one of the fastest growing internet radio networks, HDRadioNetwork.com. Take it with you, cowboy. Get the mobile app for Android, iPhone, iPad, and all the rest from TuneIn.com.
It's time for those most famous words in motorsports. Travis, start your engines!
Michael Conti comes up at a corner number 4 in the checkered flag. He wins his first.
And we're back at Kentucky Speedway here, just about to maybe go green, maybe. I think we'll have one more shot of this if we go 2 laps. I want to say if we go 2 laps, we get a caution, the race is over. So these guys have got to play it safe for sure here. Gonna be 5 to go. Never mind, I don't think we'll have that as we don't have the 1 to green yet. So we'll get it. We're gonna get 5 to go this time by, and I believe we're getting double file, so we should go green when we come around once again. So once again, we have 1 more pace lap, but that will give us just about 4 to go when we come to the green flag, and then no caution can come out or the race will be over. So GL and Lewis, you gotta know, sitting there hoping for a caution.
And he's definitely going to want to get the biggest jump that he can on this restart, because we've seen the 56 and the 3 and even the 4 CJ Laver, that's Ray Alfala, Adam Gilliland, and CJ Laver right behind him. They are all fast. They caught up to him on the last restart because 93 didn't get as good as a jump. And if a caution comes out quick here, which may happen because it's the end of the race, everyone's going to be going for it even harder than they have to this point in the night. That 30 or 93 rather is just going to try to get as far away and hang on to it for as much as he can, and watch for some wicked driving by those next 3 trucks in line to try to do anything they can to get the victory lane.
Definitely. Here we go. Now we'll work to the back straightaway. Pace car light's going to go off this time by. It's going to be exciting. I have to believe. The question is, if we get a caution, when do we get it, Evan? That's what you got to keep your eye on. Will these guys be really careful, or what's going to happen? Do we have anybody come down pit road, maybe get 4 tires and want to rip through the field and cause a wreck? Something like that. But don't know, and we'll just have to see what happens. I mean, it's like I said, anything can happen here, and it looks like one of my predictions is not going to happen. So cross out anything can happen, but. Here we go, working off the turn number 4. 93 has control of the field. 56 going to edge out the 93 here. As 93 is away, 56 going to get a pretty good restart. Shoots down to the apron. 93 going to hold his ground up on the pavement, the asphalt there, and he takes his arc into the corner. 56 looking to follow. Not quite shooting down like he did last time by. He gets a pretty good run. 93 gets loose. He holds him down off of the corner. Comes back up the racetrack. Going to be side by side down the back straightaway. 93 not liking what's going on right now. 3 gets them up for that 56. 93 hanging on strong on the outside lane, but it's not going to help him. He falls back, loses both positions.
Definitely the 56 Ray Alfala made his way by. He took a look at it on the entrance and he gave him a little bit of a bumper run, and the caution flag will fly. This race is over, and the 56 of Ray Alfala is going to go to victory lane, followed by Adam Gilliland, and G. Allen Lewis in the 93 truck is going to come home third, and that's going to be your top 3. The race is done.
Yeah, that's going to be it. I don't believe we have Ray Alfala currently. I don't think we have a radio to him in the race car, or Adam Gilliland, so we'll just have to get them after they cross the line for the checkered flag. Hopefully they can jump on here. But running order, I do believe, as the race ends. Ray Alfala, your race winner here officially. Adam Gilliland going to come home in second. G. Allen Lewis hangs on, so close, but going to come home third. CJ Laver fourth, with Chad Coleman running out the top 5. Alan Cryer going to come home 6th, with Tyler Young in 7th in the 42 machine. Harrison Whitelet's going to come home in 8th in his 79 machine. The 44, Glenn Campbell, comes home 9th, and Byron Daly, 3 White Daly, comes back from a speed or an EOL penalty from causing a wreck, even received some damage, and he still finishes 10th. Points leader Matt Lacrosse comes home in 11th position. Do want to mention him as well. I wouldn't say it was the points that he wanted, but he's able to finish the race, so that's all that matters right there.
Yeah, definitely a rough race. Survival of the fittest, so to speak, trying to get through it to the end. And G. Allen Lewis was really trying to hold it off for the win there. And you see, he just could not hold them off. And the 3 of Adam Gilliland may have even had something for Ray Alfala. You see him get to the bumper there. He was on the bumper into turn number 3, and the caution flew right as they crossed the start-finish line. And you see Adam Gillen's going to pull up behind. Ray will follow right to his bumper. A little good race sportsmanship showing right there, but they're going to work their way down the back straight on lap 89. They still have 1.5 laps to go, but we're not going to be able to go back green flag racing. So as long as that 56 truck can make it around 1.5 more laps, he'll be in victory lane.
Yeah, I don't think that'll be a problem for him whatsoever. But I believe, just one more time. We're working 3 and 4. Got to go around one more time. That should be the race here. We're going to go ahead and try to talk to CJ LeVere on the radio. He is our 4th place finisher. One of the only guys we really have on the radio currently. I know we got a lap to go, so we're going to give them a little time after the race ends to get their mic set up and hooked up, so that we can talk to them. But 4th place finisher here, CJ LeVere in the 4 machine. He had an up and down night, I would say, and at the end it was very up as he comes home in 4th in his 4 machine. CJ LeVere, what a fantastic run you had so far today, and finishing 4th.
Yeah, it was a great run. I'm really happy with the 4th. We had to start way in the back, and we did a little strategy and stayed out and got up here with these leaders, and we had a little bit older tires. I'm really happy to get the truck in 4th. We really didn't have the tires compared to the guys around us.
I mean, how fast were those cars in front of you, even when you were on even tires? I mean, did you have anything for them anyway?
I can't really say if I did or didn't. I could run with them. I'm not faster than them, but I could stay with them. If they mess up, that's my chance.
And CJ, man, you come home 4th. Another good week for you. Are you looking here for points, or are you just looking for finishes here?
I'm here for finishes. I'm not here for points, but you never know. I run a lot of series here in RSR, so I'm here just supporting RSR.
All right, CJ, thank you. And as you work to 3 and 4, going to be your final time coming across the checkered flag. This time by any shots you want to throw out there real fast?
I got to thank Hippie's Paint Shop, RSR, for putting on this show here and ATV Live. Great, it's awesome to have, and a lot of people put this together. Thanks for everybody that did it.
All right, thank you, CJ, and good job on your 4th place finisher here tonight. And there was CJ LeVere. I'm trying to get the names right, but comes home 4th in his 4 machine. G. Allen Lewis again comes home 3rd. Adam Gilliland comes home 2nd. Ray Alfalo wins the race. We have no radio set up with Gilliland or Fally yet that we can find, or that we're aware of. We're waiting on them to maybe show up. We do have, however, G. Allen Lewis on the radio. G. Allen Lewis comes home 3rd. He hung on strong. I mean, he had a very, very put up a very valiant effort trying to hang on to that lead, especially in his late going. G. Allen Lewis, what a run for you here.
Yeah. First of all, I gotta say, just shout out to Jason Leffer, his family. That's pretty tough, kind of sickening, but it happens, I guess. But yeah, the Galaxy Motorsports Chevrolet was good tonight. Gotta thank all the boys back at Galaxy Motorsports: Dustin Langard, David Pollock, Chris DiBenedetto, Austin Alganassi, who did an awesome job swatting tonight. Travis Penny. There's so many people to thank. John Guerrero, Jonathan Dickert, all them boys. It was a fixed setup, but normally they give me some of the best stuff you've ever drove on the sim. So we was under a fixed setup tonight, but I still wore the banner, and it's cool to do well for them. But just came up short. It's hard to beat the champ. I mean, I mean, he's 2-time world champion. It's going to be hard to beat him.
Well, definitely a strong night out for your 93 truck. You started in the 7th position, and walk us through this race. We saw lots and lots of caution. It seems like such a tough racetrack, especially turn 2. How was the trucks handling out there in traffic?
The trucks were fine. Just a lot of people driving like they typically do in iRacing, and it's just over their talent, I guess is a good way to say it. They just overdrive and self-spin and whatnot. And there, middle part of the race, whatever 15-lap run that we had, it was a lot of fun. There was a lot of great racing with a lot of good people that I can race well around. You can race hard around. We just kept having self spins and everything else. Of course, the setup was a little bit loose on fresh tires, but truck was good in traffic, and I don't know, man, just kind of dejected, you know.
Definitely, and you were leading on that final restart, and you knew that the trucks behind you were coming on newer tires, so to speak, a little bit faster. And what was going through your mind there on that restart, trying to hold them off?
Well, me and Dustin Langert was talking, and my spotter Austin. We was talking, trying to figure out what I could do, and there's really nothing you can do. You just kind of got to pick a point and go, and hope that they don't go when you go. So I figured if I kind of watched my mirror and watched when they started gaining momentum on the restart, I could take off and kind of catch them off guard. But Ray's good, man. I've said it a million times. He's one of the best, and it's going to be hard to beat him. You know, he had a hand in making the setup, I think, right? So I don't know if that's true or not, but he has a lot of time on this track, a lot of time on the sim, and it's going to be hard to beat him, man.
And definitely, and who makes it happen for you guys? What shoutouts do you want to throw out there?
Just Galaxy Motorsports Race Fans TV. You know, they broadcast all kinds of events that we're not able to catch on actual TV. John Gregorio does a great job with that. Jonathan Dicker, Galaxy Gaming, like it on Facebook. We're a small team. We had one DWC driver, but we're just kind of a gaming community. You know, we're not all about iRacing. That's not all we do. You know, we play League of Legends, Arma 3, just anything. If you feel like you want to hang out, you want to game, you want to shoot some people, whatever, just come on over, like us. It's a good place to be. Travis Penny, Dustin Langert did a great job with the place, and been there 7 months, which is the longest place I've ever been on a team for iRacing. So they must be doing something right. They're a good place and a lot of fun.
Definitely make sure to check them out. So the 93 couldn't hang on for the win. He's going to get a top 3, though, not too shabby after a long, hard night of racing. So that's the number 93 of G. Allen Lewis is going to come home 3rd after a long night at Kentucky.
And you know what? I just heard something, and it was something about Kansas, Evan. Kansas.
I don't know why the 2 Ks at the beginning. I get so confused by them. I don't even know.
Well, we're not at Kansas. We were at Kentucky Speedway here tonight, and the full race in the books, the 90 laps. Had several cautions, but the race is over. Ray Alfalo wins. Adam Gilliland second. G. Allen Lewis comes home 3rd, and CJ Levere 4th. You heard from the 3rd and 4th place finishers. But follow us here at ETV Live. This was the Outlaw Truck Series. This was another round of the series. That's all for us here tonight. I'm Dakota Ehrman, joined by Evan Soko. Again, Laura Lawson on the cameras. We'll see you tomorrow night with the Real Sim Racing Asphalt Assault Series. It'll be exactly this crew once again with their Thursday night series.
Oh.